Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Jean. Today we are going to work on a Christmas card. We're going to do a hot foil Christmas card. Now I'm using the Spellbinders hot foil, the Glimmer machine. My daughter just recently surprised me with this for no reason. If you want a more in-depth video on this, just let me know in the comments and I can do it. It's just been out for a while, so people might know about it. I foiled other ways before this, but I just didn't really like how the results came out. This machine I really, really like. So I'm also using their hot plate of the month, the Christmas Flora. So I'll be using that. And then I'll be using the gold foil for this. Now I turned it on. You can see the red lights flash. I turned it on to save a little time because it does take a time to heat up. I'm going to push it in now, and as soon as it turns green, we can put our plate on. And I'll show you how I do that. So it comes with a bunch of things. This is to pick up the off of here because this gets really hot. So you want to be careful not to touch down there. It takes a little while, but I heated this up a little bit, so it shouldn't take too long to turn green. And then we will heat up our plate first, and then we run it through the die cut machine. I am using the Sizzix, the Big Shot, which I've had for many, 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 many years. Before you buy a foil machine, you have to be careful on look and see what machines work. Die cut machines work with it because my Anna Griffin Express does not, Empress does not work, and my Crafter's Companion one does not work either. So you have to read and find out what ones work with it and everything. Good thing I still had this on hand. I don't really use it anymore because it takes those really thick dies, whatever. I don't know what they're called anymore, but you know, it doesn't really work for your new thin lit dies and stuff like that. I know there's a trick out there you can make it work, but I have my other machines, so I don't play with it. So then we have 2 plates that we'll need to be using as soon as that hurries up and turns green. And then we will we'll foil and then die cut everything out first, and then we'll be doing some coloring, which, you know, I'm not the best, but I can do this one. And then I have a whole bunch of samples because it's going to take, you know, too long to make one. There we go. Now the green light came on. So what I like to do is position it on my paper kind of where I want it. And I use the grid lines on here so that I know where to put my paper back down. So I'm just going to go in this corner, line it up against that line, and then take my paper away. That way I get it pretty well lined up. And now we're going to go ahead and push the timer button here. And it's going to blink green. And when it stops, it's done. So now you can put everything on it. So I put my foil on, and you want to put your shiny side down on top of the plate. And I just try to stay away from my little line so I can see my little line there. Okay, and then put the piece of paper on it, and then I know where I was. So we're going to line that back up on that line. So just like that. Make sure yep, okay, we're covered there. And then, oops, I just turned it, so hopefully it won't be too crooked. Okay. Then we put on our green one on top first. And then the clear one goes on top. And now, as soon as it stops blinking, we can put it through our Big Shot machine. So I've done lots of different ways of foiling in the past. And I just never was satisfied with any of them. And, you know, some of them were fine. You know, they didn't always give me a really clean foil. I really like this machine. Okay, so now you can see it turned green. So now we're just going to pull this whole thing out. And then we're going to take it. It's not hot if you pick it up like this. So it's warm on the bottom, but it's not hot. So we're just going to set it in there. I hope I'm not moving it around too much. And just push our button. Bring it through. And then I just set my plate back down here. And I'll see if I was wiggling too much because, you know, I'm talking to you guys. Oh, looks good. And you can just see how nice that foil is. Okay. So let's take that off to the side. We do not need this no more. So what we have to do first is we're going to have to die cut this little piece out first because we have to do another foil. So for that, I need my other die cut machine because this does not work. it's a shame that my Empress is not quite big enough. It did not work through there, but okay, so now we're going to take this piece and line it up best you can, you know. Okay, I know I got to go down there a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good, I hope. I'm just going to put a little piece of tape on. And then for my cutting sandwich, I have to have the A plate, the magnetic plate. Then you put this with your cutting side up. And then I put my other plate on top. And we're going to run that through. I always run to, I don't want to change my plates yet. They're getting a little warped, but they're still working good. But I always run it through twice. Okay, let's see. I don't think we need this one anymore. So let's put that back out of our way. My table's only so big here. Pull that out and okay, we got that. So now what we need to do is I am going to use this as my guide here because I'm going to need to foil the Merry Christmas. I'm going to foil that in the center there. But you can't put the green down and try to eyeball that. And you can put your tape and everything, but that never seems to work out for me. So this seems to work out the best for me. So what I do is I line that up where I know on my grid. And then you got to put the flat side down. And then I position this where I think that was pretty good right from the start. Okay. Then I'll push this back in so it warms up. And then I can take this off now. Let's cut ourselves a little piece of foil off of here. Like I said, I'm sure a lot of people have seen this machine. It's been out for a few years now. I actually didn't until, you know, my daughter's the one that actually came up on one of her feeds. And she knows I've done foiling in the past. And she's like, Mom, would you like a machine like this? I'm like, well, I don't need to, whatever, you know. Well, she bought it. Bought it for me. So I think she has ulterior motives for herself. But that's okay. I don't have a problem with using it. Yeah, I did sign up for their, it's called the Glimmer of the Month. And so I might start doing a video on their one every month. So we'll get this to heat up. Then we'll put our foil on. We'll put our paper on. And I think that's the last thing I have to foil. And I won't have to dye. Then we can color. And this is why we're only making one sample, because we would be here forever. Okay, let's bring, while that's doing this thing, we'll bring back our die machine, our cutting machine here. But overall, if you work it right, it works quite well. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put the foil on top, and then my paper. Okay, and then we'll put on my plate. Push our timer button. There, now it's ready to go. Okay, we can get this kind of out of our way. I don't need that. Need that. I will be using the color with. I'll be using the Arteza markers, their real brush. Now I've had these markers for probably a good 5 years, and they're still very, very juicy. They work really, really well yet. So as I'm working it, I will tell you the colors we're using as I'm coloring. So put those over there, and I will need my glasses. That's why I color. And then, like I said, I did a ton of samples for you guys so you can see different ways to use this hot plate. And they're really, really heavy. Not surprised how heavy these are. Okay, Aldi can go. And again, I hope I didn't move it. I'm going at an odd angle here too. When I have it set up on my other area, I have it set up decent, so. But we can always adjust if I didn't get that perfectly centered. And I will take this. And looks like I did pretty darn good. Now we're going to color this. So let's get this, turn that off. We're going to move this so we have some room here. So let's move this out of my way. And put that over there. Then I'll take this one here. And I'm going to try this way, so you guys can kind of see. Now, I'm usually sitting coloring, so this will be fun to try to color above or in my head. Now, our first color is the current red, number 114. So we're going to use that. I think we'll use that on all our poinsettias. Now, I'm trying to go in from an angle here. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is kind of like a watercolor effect. So you don't have to, worry about too much. I try to stay in lines, but like I said, this is the angle I'm doing, trying to keep my head out of the way here. It may not be perfect. This will be my Christmas card, I think, this year. Okay. Don't worry if this ain't perfect, because I got better ones. So, okay, so now for all the holly berries, I am using the tomato red. There you go. 194. Like I said, I've had these for, I should show you the tip on them. This is simple enough where you don't have to be perfect, because it's supposed to be kind of like a watercolor. Now I tried color pencils. I really didn't like the color pencil effect. I really didn't like the way the color pencils looked, so that's up to you. Okay, I'll turn it this way so that I don't have to try to get, my head in the camera. As long as my cards in the camera. I did get this month's hot press for August plate. So like I said, I might start doing a every month so you guys can see their plates and what I do with them. They have quite a bit of different clubs, Spellbinders does, and I was like, I guess I never really paid attention. Okay, so 2 reds. Let's work on the greens. So all we're going to do for the green, we're going to be working on all these branches. So all we're going to do is like a flicker motion. So I'm going to be using the Shamrock green, 189. And I don't know if they still have these. I'm sure they still do, but... And then we're going to use Moss green, 122. So all I'm doing is where the branches are, I'm just going to flicker to put the color in them. So I'm just kind of flickering like that. And I'll do this one. Just to add some color on those. I just kind of, not totally follow the branches, but just kind of get in there. And this one here yet. Turn it a little bit. I'm getting on a funky angle here. And this one yet. Okay, and then we'll use the other green for the other ones. And I see my foil's not perfect there because I knew I moved my plate. But that's okay. I got good samples. And that's why I said you got to be careful. I have a different setup and everything's nice and in place, and I haven't had a bad foil yet. And I can show you some of the other foil techniques too if you guys want. If you've never seen foiling, you know, you can foil using a laminating machine. I just think this is so pretty the way it comes out. Okay, so I got all the green. Now we're gonna do all the pine cones, and for those I'm gonna be using ginger, 178, and chocolate, 102. Which one's my darker one? I'm gonna start with chocolate, and all I'm gonna do is just kind of go and do. You'll see this will look better when it's done. Right now you think, what is she doing? I'm just making the pine cones darker in some areas. Then nothing, just randomly, just, you know, color. When it's done, it looks better when it's done. Let's see, I'll go from this side this time. I am no expert. Trust me. I am not. And I don't stress about, like, it turns out pretty good in the end. Okay, so we're going to do that one. Now we're going to just take the lighter color in here and just color the rest in. This one kind of makes it look like a gold pine cone. And usually I just kind of do a circular motion. And I want some like darker areas and some lighter areas. So I don't really kind of worry about, oops, getting perfectly, because you want the shading. So I kind of go in a circle around it and let the middle be a little lighter. Okay. I know the hot foil machine is not for everybody. Like I said, there's other ways. And you don't need, and that's why maybe you guys want me to do a video, because you can hot foil with regular dyes, but it's not always the, you know, a very good foil, because it depends on what your pattern is. Okay, and there we have that done. Now I need my foam tape, and I think we'll just use these squares today. Now all I'm going to do is we are just going to foam it up. Look like that. So we're just going to put some foam tape on, and I'm not going to, normally I would put more on, but we don't have time to sit there and take that all off, do we? And we got samples to look at. And this has already taken 20 minutes. It does take a while when you're get that hot foil machine to heat up. That's kind of like the laminator too. And I just kind of, and there is our finished card. And my base. And we need to have, and I think I'm going to put this one, because I didn't do any of the other ones, I don't think. Let's put this one on a red base. Card base. Regular A2 size is all I'm doing. And then I left just a little border. And this one will just glue straight down. So then you got the red and the green. I will be doing at least one Christmas item project a month. At least. I've got other stuff, so I don't want to take up the whole, you know, not everybody wants to see Christmas stuff all the time either. I'm going to pick it up. Look quick there. All right. And there. Let's bring it down just a little bit so you guys, bring the samples in. Okay, so get rid of my glasses. So let's see how I have that. I have another one that I colored I want to show you. I'm going to kind of put these in groupings of what I did here. This can go with that one. So I kind of basically made 2 colors of each. So you guys can see the difference with the colors. This one's white. Okay, so we have that one. And then this one I just did, put it the right way. So I just put the red on the inside and put some gems around it and then put it on a regular white card base. So that one. And then this one is one, I have 2 of them. If you don't want to do any coloring, it looks just fine like this. So this I die cut out. They also have the die cut for it, the words too, which is nice of them. So you can die cut that out. So I die cut it out and then I just popped it up there. And then I just foiled. Look at that foil. Isn't that pretty? I don't know if you can see how well you, there we go. There we go. And I left it plain, just like that. Put it on a red card base. That's all you need. So this one I did the same thing. So I put it on a green, this is silver foil. And I put it on just on the white card base. I didn't pop it up or anything like that. And I just left it like that so you can see. That looks just as nice. If you don't want to color or do anything fancy. Now remember, the lights are gonna, you know, make it kind of bright to see, but in person is really, really pretty. So that's the silver. Then this one, these 2 I have popped up. You can see I have that, the top piece popped up. These ones I just colored and let it flat down. So I didn't pop up the top piece. So you can kind of see the difference in one that's been popped up. There you go. You get a little dimension there. And one that's not popped up. So you don't have to pop it up either. And I just did the green base on that one. And then these ones I did again where I didn't color and I put them on the dark. So I put this one on the dark green. I did gold on the dark green with the red bottom. And, I lost a gem there. I had some gold pearls on all of them. That one disappeared on me. It's probably stuck on one of these cards. That's usually what happens. And then I did it on the red and the green and popped it up. So you can see the difference, how the dimension looks. But I mean, even on the dark colors, look how that shows up really nicely. And doesn't that look elegant? Like you went to a, you know, card shop and, you know, paid big bucks to have them make you some cards. And that don't take any time at all because you're not doing any coloring, anything like that. You're just putting it on there. and you're done. Now this one took a little bit more time. This one I cut out. So I cut it out. It doesn't have a die to cut the whole thing out. It only has a die to cut the center out. So I fussy cut all the way around and popped it up. And then I did the Merry Christmas again. It does also have, what does the word say again? See if I can read what it says. So you can put this together and it says, Merry Christmas. May all your days be merry and bright. So you could put that like on the bottom underneath, like if you want to, you could put it, you could add that on underneath there. So if you wanted to add that in there like that, you could, but I just left the Merry Christmas. I'll put something else inside, so you can do that. So then I did, almost dropped it, the red and the green. So then I fussy cut the green out. And so you can kind of see the difference. I think I like the red one on this one better. I think I like this one better. And these are both done in the gold. So there's a lot of different ways you can use this. And I'm not sponsored at all by Spellbinders or nothing like that. So I paid for this. Well, my daughter paid for the machine. But, you know, I paid for this myself. I can't remember how much their monthly club is. But if you go on Spellbinders, they have probably about 8 to 10 different kits in a month. So that's the only one I'm in right now. I may go into another one later on, but that's it for right now. So there is all, let's see if we can get all these looks in there. There is all the different ways that you can make this card using that hot plate. There is a lot. I like the colored in one. I like that one. So pretty. And I don't think my coloring was too bad on this. Nope, I don't think it was. I think it turned out pretty good. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this Christmas card. I will have another Christmas card. Don't worry. There's 1 or 2 more Christmas card ideals I will be doing. And I know there's the gift card ones, and I don't know what else I have on my list, but I got quite a bit of different things. So if this isn't up your alley, don't worry. I have other Christmas card ideals for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and as always, please come back and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, everyone.